Bernard kept on saying, fumbling, as if to pronounce me even guilty. And I want to be pained. No. It's not you who will let me be pained.
I want you to be pained.
Kwame, I can tell you that even up to the following morning and other days, I didn't eat. Wow. It doesn't have to take you to prick me for me to be pained.
You are pained by it.
In all my life, Bernard, I don't want to become emotional. Kwame, in all my life, even under the guise of the MPP, I have seen before the God that I worship.
I know.
I have seen money. I have been promised money, Kwame. And the Almighty Allah is my judge. I have never ever, Kwame, taken a dime from them to do the bidding of anybody.
I know.
So if anybody makes that allegation, Kwame, is a pain in my heart. Especially for where I have reached. It's very painful. So Kwame, let me say without any iota of hesitation. And when I began my presentation, I made it clear that this is not an issue for which anybody will defend. And so if I'm accused that, oh, I came to defend the indefensible, Kwame, what does that mean? It means I'm not even mindful of what has happened. And I've come in to put a defense for the indefensible. Is that what I did here, Kwame? Because I said it up initial that what has happened is a collective guilt of all of us. And for all of us, we felt a sense of shame that this thing happened to us. Having come from a background where we did this into the pleasure of all the rank and file. So there's nothing we can do but to apologize to them and plead with them for forgiveness. Is that not what I said, Kwame? That the only thing we can do at the moment is to apologize to the rank and file of our people and ask for forgiveness. So, Kwame, if we will not forgive one another and NDC and go for, so we are going to throw the party away. We are going to throw the NDC parliamentary. So the NDC parliamentary, we don't need you again. Go. And for 4 years, what is the vanguard for the defense of the NDC? Is that what we want? And that's why I said that even angry as we are, we have a right to be angry about what has happened. Let us express our anger. No two ways about it. We have a right to be angry. But in our anger, we should be measured. That if you go overboard with your anger, even the weapon that you have for fighting your opponent, you destroy that weapon and you give the MPP a field day. Is that what we want? So yes, the things that are happening that are untoward, that are bad, let us speak against them. More importantly, let us act against them as a party. Let us institute a probe. Let us find out what happened. How come that this went on? If it's possible, even from our parliamentary ranks, we can find a way of finding out who did what. Why not? So that we all, it's a process of repair. Any human being, tell me any human being on the surface of this earth who is infallible. Are you infallible? Benamona, are you infallible? You do things, you apologize to people. And when you do those things and you apologize to those people, you tell them that they should not accept your apology. Why in this particular instance? Because it is not any stiff-necked person who is coming and saying that, oh, I'm going to defend what I did. Not a single person can defend what has happened. And that's why I say indefensible as it is. The only sensible thing we can do now is to assuage the head feelings of our people. Is to plead with them for forgiveness. And take steps. Give them the assurance that what has happened will never happen again. And we take steps to make sure that it never happens again. Because you still need the NDC, you still need the parliamentary group to fight the cause of the NDC for the 4 years. Otherwise, we are handing this country free of charge to the highness. And there will be nothing left in this country. What will be the basis for opposing them again? So, Kwame, that is exactly why I'm saying that it is important that we look at the way forward. Angry as we are, legitimate right to be angry about what has happened, but we have a lot of work ahead of us. So we should not look forward. Destroy everything now because it has happened. Let's destroy everything, and everybody should be condemned, disbanded, killed. Everything should be put asunder. And what happens? And hand over the country free of charge to the MPP.
But Mr. Pratt suggests that you are the ones who are doing that.
So that is exactly the point I'm saying. And that is what we are crying against. Am I lying? So if we are crying against that, we will go and do a similar thing, and this one will be even a total handover. Worse than even what we are complaining against. Because some few people, 18 people, 3 people, 5 people here, they have done something that all of us are complaining. Even when I said the majority did not even support that move. So now we are just going to jettison the whole majority. All the 137, condemn all of them, finish all of them. And none of them has a role to play again in the defense of the NDC again. Is that what we want? Is that what is good for the NDC and this country? So, Kwame, let's separate the matters. The act itself is indefensible. And I've said it here without any, and I've said it, I'll be one of those people who come out openly and say that. It's indefensible. Let's assuage the anger of our people and tell them it was bad, it should never happen again. Beyond that, what do we do going forward? You can't always ensconce yourself in the past. The past should be a corrective measure for you to look at the future, so that you know exactly what you can do. But if we finish that one, and on the basis of that, like I said, Kwame, there are very decent members of the NDC minority who can never be bribed. I can tell you. Why? In every society, you may have some a few people and others, and as a result of their action, it tarnishes the decision of the entire group. Yeah, you can say that. But it is up to the group to begin to take steps to make sure that those things are righted, so that we don't get into a situation where you have the sacrifice of this thing. And that is why I'm making a distinction between expressing the misgivings about what has happened and taking steps to deal with it, and then looking forward to ensure that what happened never happens again, and that we position the NDC group to play a more vanguard role in the defense of the national interest as we go forward. Otherwise, where will they really have an instrument for defending the national interest in Parliament? Which other institution?
Very good question.
So, Kwame, that one is unequivocable. That is damnable as anybody may put it. Steps must be taken to find out what happened. Why did it happen? Could it have been prevented? And what steps we might take to make sure that in future such a thing does not happen again?
Right.
Those are things we should do.
Okay. Bernard, you also want to respond to a few things that Honorable has said.
You see, and Kwame, let me add just this.
Kwame, yeah.
Look, Kwame, we use every parliamentary means, and I'm saying it here advisedly, on that day, Kwame, to stop the vote, like I said, because many of our members were not present. Kwame, and when I say this COVID thing, it is not to say that only NDC people have COVID. Kwame, remember when this COVID started? In fact, most of the people they mentioned were MPP people. You remember? At that time, did you hear any NDC member who was started at that time for COVID?
No.
So some of these things happen over time. It just happened that at this particular time, some of the our members, unfortunately, got caught by the dissing. And like I told you, in the case of even World War, it was very critical, very critical. It's only the Almighty Allah. And as I speak to you, one or two are actually fighting for their life. Very difficult situation. Kwame. So in those cases, there's very little or nothing you can do about this. There were some, in fact, my this is that one or two even out of the country. Okay, you can ask a legitimate question. How come at this crucial time somebody is traveling outside the country? Legitimate question. I would not fault anybody for asking that question. Because as members of parliament, Kwame, you don't need, if you are a conscious member of parliament, Kwame, you don't need anybody to tell you to be abreast with the parliamentary calendar. Because we went on break. We came back on Tuesday. You should have known that as a member of parliament, back from this break, there will be crucial business on the floor of the house. So even here, you don't even need the whip to tell you. As a member of parliament, you should know that there's crucial business in the house, and you should be in the house. So if you don't know that, you are derelict in your duty.
Okay.
So Kwame, like I told you, we fought this thing all the way. We use every parliamentary procedure. Look, anybody who was there will tell you, we even started, even before Mr. Speaker, that copies of the report of the appointment committee have not been made available to members of parliament.
So that's another issue.
So members of parliament, tell me, I was up and indicated that, look, I never had a copy of the thing. How was I going to participate actively in the debate?
So they could have agented.
So Kwame, it was there. And so we all asked that in the face of this one, it is proper to go for an adjournment.
And the speaker defied.
So Kwame, no, I don't want to. That's what I say, Kwame. There are many issues. Even responsibilities at the level of the party. That's why I'm saying that, look, all these other blame game here, blame game there. Yes, things happen all across. Everybody has a share of the blame. Let us, in apportioning those blames, make sure that the best thing to do is to find ways to ensure that this thing never happens again. And come back from the brink and work as a party to confront the greater task ahead of us.